Yeah. Okay. You can decide which one you would like. I'm just going to...
Maybe we'll just do both.
Yeah, maybe.
Just for the sake of having a bit of...
While I'm still putting them together. One is open. Okay, so we want to thank you all for joining us on a very special occasion. So we wanted to make it a bit special for you guys as well, but since you're all here joining us on the Vervet Monkey Foundation's 30th anniversary night. So we want to start first of all with the banner, because every 25 years we had a banner created, and Hannah's done this beautiful design of our next banner, so we are excited to show you, and let's go. What? So our theme for the 30th anniversary year, as you can see here, where care creates miracles. We've had so many miracles happen in the last 30 years, but especially I would say this year we've had a lot of critical care cases, even more so, and ones that really have created miracles, and we want to give you a quick presentation on some of those as well, and also later on there'll be a video on the last 25 years previously as well, so that you can basically see Vervet Monkey Foundation throughout the ages. So thank you very much, Hannah, for this beautiful banner. We're very proud of it, and we've also got the Outstanding Sanctuary Award on there, which we are really full of gratitude for that as well. So thank you guys for joining us, and Hannah, order of events?
Yeah. So first of all, big the vendor, a family for the meal we are going to get. It's absolutely amazing what you've done. They made a birthday dinner as a South African family would enjoy it. As we are a family in South Africa, that's more than suitable. Big thank you very much. Very big pleasure and very grateful for that, especially because Karin and Marius won't even be here to enjoy it themselves, which is such a shame. Big thank you. And then, so we will now have our lovely dinner. We will start with a soup, and then we will have the main course.
Alright, so, if it doesn't have spoons, we'll have to make do with a teaspoon. Teaspoons. We can do, yeah. Is it no lighter? I'm sure I saw red ones somewhere. One more plate. Catching.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, BMF.
That is hot.
Quite a hot cake.
30 years old, Dave. 30 years old. I got a big.
Yeah, it takes me back quite a bit.
How old were you when the BMS started then?
5.
Regis was your dad?
It's a plot twist.
Dave is the same from Vervet. You have lived half of your life coming from the BMS. And what of yours? 3?
Huh? 3 more.
It was like any normal day, I suppose, in December of 1989. I was getting ready to go to work, basically in our apicultural business down in Zanin. It was about 7 o'clock in the morning when one of the guys that was working with me on my parents' farm came up with this little bundle in his hands, shouting, "Look what I found, look what I found." When I went up to him and opened his hands, inside there was this tiny baby vervet monkey that still had this little umbilical cord attached. At that point I was kind of shocked. I didn't really know what to do with him. In my life I've brought up many animals before. I've had dogs, I've had cats, hamsters, goldfish, snakes, but this was the first time I'd ever come across a baby vervet monkey. And it was sort of looking up at me with this little pitiful eyes and like what I was going to do with it. You know, it was like the end of its life. Being with nature and conserving nature. So I phoned up Nature Conservation and I told them, "Look, I found this tiny baby vervet monkey." And I was really not ready for the response what I got, because as soon as the word vervet came out of my mouth, the guy shouted down the phone, "Kill it." And I said, "I beg your pardon?" He said, yes, this thing's a pest. It causes endless trouble in the farming community. It's problems in towns and things like this. It's declared vermin. The best thing for you to do is take it behind your house and hit it with a spade.
We have now seen what we have done the first 25 years at the VMF, and now we are looking at the most recent 5 years and what we have accomplished since then. So let's start with 2019, and for probably most people, it started as a very normal year for us. We had wonderful 139 volunteers, which was very common during that time. Most commonly, we had something around 130 and 150, 160 volunteers each year. Absolutely fantastic. We also said hello to Lilo and Lila, who arrived that year, and you can see them here. They're very cute, and Lilo adopted Lila as her big sister. They moved to Calypso's Corner. Calypso's Corner was just built earlier that year, and we also had quite a lot of other buildings or extensions we built that year. So firstly, with the Calypso Corner fundraising, we actually had enough funds to build sunshine cages for sickbay. That's area, as you all know, where the monkeys can go outside and not just stay inside, especially if they're long-term patients. That's super helpful that they get to see the sun, get vitamin D, and have a larger area to roam around. We also built the new Semango enclosure. It was fundraised in 2018 and started to be built in 2018 and then finished in 2019 because the Semangos had now a new enclosure and were able to move down there. We were able to extend what was then called as sick bay and trip, which, to be fair, was quite confusing with the name. So we renamed it into Global Work and Travel Trip after getting a absolutely fantastic donation by Global Work and Travel Organization, which is a volunteering organization we are still working with. They're absolutely fantastic. And yeah, Global Trip was extended to its current state, which is much, much larger. Then 2019 was also super exciting because Skunky was the first time in adoptive trip. So for the very first time, they adopted some babies. So on the left side, you can see Pan and Rene, and on the right side, you can see Jethro and Rox. Rox came quite late in the year. He actually was hit by a car and both his legs were completely broken. One of the legs was shattered. Very sadly, we had to amputate that, but he's doing fine anyways. He was followed by Jethro quite a lot, and then finally Jethro actually started hugging him and carry him on the belly. We have seen that at the sanctuary only twice before. Only Chico in Engeki trip has done that before. So Jethro, absolutely fantastic foster dad. Very sadly has passed away just very recently. He was very old. But yeah, he was absolutely fantastic as a foster dad.
I want to give you an update on the COVID-19 and how it's affected our sanctuary as a whole as well. For the last 17 years, we've had international volunteers coming through, which have really been the lifeblood of our foundation. They've helped with tasks on a daily basis. So it's not only affected the daily tasks and it's shared between now all of our voluntary staff team and also our local staff team who have absolutely been incredible throughout this. But it means that they don't have the people to assist them and there's a lot more work to be done and it's difficult to actually move forward for the primates. The other thing is the volunteers paid for accommodation and meals, but it also gave a donation to the sanctuary, and this has been one of our biggest sources of funding, which has really kept us going over the years and being able to move forward. So basically it's been an unprecedented emergency overnight for us, and although we do always have emergency funds available to be responsible, this was not in our contingency plan, as for you, as the same for many sanctuaries out there. Watch our Vervet Forest YouTube videos and keep updated with the work we're doing so that you can see what's going on. If you are at home, then the videos hopefully will be give you some more ideas as to what we do at the sanctuary. But also there's a lot of nice times with baby monkeys getting their first cuddles, for example. One thing I can say here is we have an absolutely amazing dedicated team. I'm surrounded by peaceful nature and the monkeys themselves who have no idea what's going on in the world. And it's just a really nice place to be. You know, if we have to be in quarantine, then this is actually, I wouldn't choose another place to be.
We are still not back to our old numbers. And on the right side, you can see the international team we had available. So you can see Dave with George and Timmy, and then it's me, Mark, Laura, who was sick bay staff and who helped out with meds as well. Then there's Josie, who was running around and helping as much as she was able, especially with the babies. Then we have Ellie, our baby mum, and then Jason, who did integrations, and then Adrian, who was the driver and doing maintenance. We are very, very lucky that our local team stood with us and they were there for us throughout the entire year. They were absolutely fantastic. They were organizing everything. They were helping out with doing the sections, doing aim plates, and they were just helping out everywhere where they could. We were able to recruit 8 South African volunteers during the lockdown. See Mayuri here. She's coming back every year, and we are super excited to have her here every single year because she's absolutely fantastic with the babies, as you all know. The largest volunteer organization we had, they shut down. And here is Michaela. Michaela is still with us every single weekend, helps out. On this photo, she is at the vet with Floki. There's nothing we aren't able to overcome. All of us know Floki. He arrived in October 2020. Then the Quarto troop, our Chaos Nuggets, they arrived in May, and then later the second part in June 2021. That was the first year we worked together with the Johannesburg Wildlife Vets. And so we also got in June 21 the Robert family. So that's Arif, Aryan, who sadly has passed away, and Amaya. Then we got Elio. He arrived in July 2021 as a baby, 6 weeks old. Babies arrive during baby season, as you all know. That's between October, November, maybe December. And he's now in the troop and he loves everyone. He's playing a lot. It's super cute. So yeah. Charlotte arrived in the same year. Charlotte is a little girl who arrived after she was shot. And the pellet got stuck in her forehead. And if you've been to the lodge and you've heard us talking about this monkey, and we all get super excited and we scream when we see her and we applaud and we're just celebrating every time when we see her, then that was Shallon. So Shallon arrived last year in August, and she was electrocuted at the probably at the lodge by a power line. So she probably has touched the power line, and she was severely injured. We were convinced she would stay at the sanctuary, but she proved us wrong. She was so worried that we were able not just to release her back to the wild, but also to find her troop and have her there. And every now and then we see her, and it just makes us so happy. You all know Zach at around the corner of Angaki. He arrived this year. He was hit by a car and then he was kicked to the face as well. And he suffered some brain damage. At the moment, we're working on introducing him to Calypso's Corner. Mark is doing some maintenance work, and very hopefully in a couple of weeks, we are able to release him to them. And we are super excited for him. When he arrived, we were told by 2 different vets that he will not survive. Rexy is a little bit like Floki, taking over the uncle role with the babies in Disneyland. When he arrived, not do anything. He fall on his face, probably after being hit by a car, because monkeys don't just fall out of trees. And he didn't just break his skull several times and his jaw, but also his neck. Rexy isn't just surviving, but he's thriving. And thank you very much to Charlotte for all the work she's doing with him, for all the exercises she's doing. Thank you very much, Charlotte. You're doing, I don't know what you're doing, but it's amazing. The difference, the improvement is mind-blowing. Then, for some reason, in the middle of the pandemic, we were contacted to do some shows. So the first one was Work on the Wild Side in 2020. then the year after, we were contacted by a South African film company. They've seen Work on the Wild Side and have seen the success, and they wanted to have something similar. So they came to us as well. But yeah, so these were the TV shows we did during the pandemic. And now we are coming over to the maintenance. So we already talked about a little bit. So we are going to focus on the ones after the lockdown. So firstly, we were able to realize our very long dream of having a new surgery. We're very happy about that. Was donated by Linda Wiley. Very excited about that. We also rebuilt a new Mets kitchen in sick bay. Completely new, absolutely fantastic. We love it. It's so much cleaner. Emma, what do you say? Yeah, it's really great. So yeah, and we are able to keep it much, much cleaner as well and more hygienic. Super excited about that. Then Jason, he fundraised for a new enclosure for Api. Api was an elderly female who was a pet in her former life, and he wanted to create a larger space for her. So he fundraised by being in a crush cage for 24 hours. And yeah, then he built Hope Enclosure up at Goliath. Then Grooming Dales was built last year after Ellie did a fundraising. So she decided she wants to create an area where Floki can live happily to his abilities. And that's why she fundraised for Grooming Dales. Then we built the new main feed area, which you all see and can enjoy when you're doing AM plates. And then because we had so much load shedding during that time as well, we extended the solar power we are generating. Solar power everywhere. And because we have now so much power due to the solar, we are able to provide electricity in the entire volunteer village. So every single cabin has now lights and a fan, which I know you all love, especially in this heat at the moment. And we also have then sockets so that you can recharge your phone and stuff like that. And then very, very big thing is that Dave and Lana, also a returning volunteer, they actually created the US charity called Friends of the Vervet Monkey Foundation. And that means that people who are donating in the US to the US account are able to get tax refunds because we are in registered charity. That also includes the volunteer fees. And super exciting, last year was the first year HMB finally got mums. Yeah, and then lastly, we also had the Semango family. So after the Jalamango enclosure was built, we actually got quite a lot of babies. And here we can see a mango with the first orphan Semango who was introduced to a family, and that's Sachmo. And after Sachmo, the year after, we had Nino, and then we had the year before last year, we had Lily. To finish the year, we got the Outstanding Wildlife Sanctuary Award by GFAS and the Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries, and we are so blessed and grateful to have this award. We feel like our work we've done over the years has been acknowledged, and that makes us very proud and very happy. We are very excited about this, And I think it's just such a lovely recognition to finish the year on.
Everybody, it's not really just myself that's created the foundation. I was just, let's say, the wheel that started it off. And over the years we've had hundreds, as you can see, volunteers that have dedicated their life to making the foundation. And it's not something that one person can do. It might be a dream of somebody, but it's a dream of a lot of other people as well, that take the time to dedicate some part of their lives to doing something and helping. And I think that's all that we can ask, is just to care for something else that's out there, care for some of the animals, give them a chance. It doesn't just go for them, it goes for other people as well. I don't think we give enough time in our lives to worry about others, whether it's an animal, whether it's a person. We're too busy concentrating on our own lifestyles and seeing what we can achieve without seeing the other people around us. And I think that's very, very important. And the foundation represents that. It represents a whole lot of people just coming together, doing something, and they've made one hell of a difference. I don't know if I can actually even see this right now past those years, but anyway, it took me hours to write this. 30 years ago in the hills of Dablestroop, where the Vervets play, Dave stumbled upon a monkey lost in disarray, a tiny orphan with a look so forlorn. Little did Dave know a legacy was born. Regus they called him, the cheekiest of the lot. In Dave's care this monkey found a cozy spot. The authorities frowned in this monkey's plight, but Dave shook his head, we'll do what's right. They started a foundation with a mission so clear, saving vervet monkeys, spreading laughter and cheer. Monkeys meeting in boardrooms with Regus in attire, deciding monkey business, reaching for the sky. The authorities grumbled, it's against the grain, but Dave and Regus, they felt no pain. Building enclosures with vines as decor, monkey architects with plans galore. Regus the legend, with a twinkle in his eye, swinging from tree, reaching for the sky. Dave and Regus, a dynamic pair, laughing in the face of monkey despair. Regus passed on 12 years ago, but his spirit lingers, a cheeky afterglow. In the sanctuary where vervets roam, Regus legend finds a lively home. So here's to Dave, the monkey saviour, in Dablestroop Hills, and mischievous behaviour. Regus the hero, his spirit strong, and the Vervet Monkey Foundation where they belong. I take full credit. Thank you, everybody.
So I think it was really cute what they said about it's one dream of one person, but it takes so many people to actually make it true. There's one more dream we have, and that dream is the Vervet Forest. We want to create this Vervet Forest. That's a plot of land of 300 to 500 hectares, where vervets can live in harmony, in peace, and away from humans, away from human conflict, away from shooting, away from dogs biting them. And we want to make this dream true. For that we need a lot of funds, but it's a dream, a worthwhile dreaming. And anyone and everyone who's contributing and dreaming just a little bit with us will make this dream come true.